for our friend Alyssa Orange from the Pig Trail Nation, who joins us from an airport lounge. Is that right, Alyssa? You're on your way up to Buffalo. Where are you right now?
We are. The plaza in the Charlotte airport, surrounded by delicious food.
Hey, I know that airport very well. You got pianos nearby. You got rocking chairs nearby.
Yeah.
You got plenty of food. You have yourself some fun.
There's a Phillips
it's got a
in there,
nice
isn't
long
there?
layover.
Crab cake place?
Yeah, we have a nice long layover, so we're just kind of hanging out. Might go shop, wander around. I don't know, maybe get my makeup done before I get to Buffalo. Who knows? I got time to kill.
That's always what I do in Charlotte. Get my hair done, nails done, makeup.
Of course.
Yeah,
and a pedicure.
Why not?
All works. You got to. Hey, maybe you got plenty of time to fill out your bracket.
That is something I need to do.
Do you need to get it done before tomorrow?
Me.
You haven't done that yet, so I could put I could put you on the spot. I could really put you on the spot because this Arkansas team has had so many moments where you know what, this team might have what it takes to make a real run in March. I think any team that plays defense the way this team does and has a great scorer like J.D. Note and a couple of X factors, I think Amude is one of those. I wouldn't be surprised with a real run to go as far as they did last year, or maybe long, or maybe farther. But then you're going to have to get past potentially a top seed in Gonzaga. So, where do you think the ceiling is for this team right now?
I think you're absolutely right, but I also think it could go one of two ways, and that's kind of the unknown right now. Is they get through Vermont, they can make a run. They can get back to the Elite Eight. Definitely the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, maybe even go to New Orleans for the Final Four. But they got to get through Vermont. And there's a possibility that Vermont has the upset. And so we know that they're going to be prepared. And if they play the defense we've seen them play, especially down the stretch of that SEC regular season schedule outside of that Tennessee game, but they didn't have Audie Stoney for that Tennessee game, and so that's kind of a wash. I think that they can beat this Vermont team because they're not used to playing defenses like Arkansas. They might have the length and the size and the experience, but they don't have that defensive experience that they've played against like Arkansas has, and that might be the factor for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I think the level of athleticism that they faced game in, game out in the America East is a whole different thing from what they're going to face. And the fact that the Razorbacks get to the foul line as much as they do, and Vermont didn't foul a lot, I think that's going to change for the Catamounts. But you remember what last year's tournament was like. It was nuts. Yeah. Down double digits every single game. And it was like the roller coasters of that experience last year. It took years off your life. And, I mean, we're kind of expecting almost like the same thing because you have had roller coaster games of late, too.
Yeah, you've talked to this team about, hey, you guys were down 12 at the half, and you came back and you won. And this team is never out of it. Even when they were down against Texas A&M, it was always like, oh, there's still 5 minutes left. They can dig themselves out of this hole. I mean, you're never counting this team out. And we also saw the emergence of Devo Davis and Jalen Williams last year in the tournament. Jalen got his first start for the Razorbacks in the tournament. Devo had the kind of run that he did, especially defensively. And I expect someone else to emerge in that role. And I think you said it. I think it's Stanley Amude. I think the way that he's been playing, hitting the three really well, he is going to be maybe the guy we look back on when this tournament is over. And he was the guy that changed things for the Razorbacks in a good way.
Yeah, and Alyssa, I think when you look at this Arkansas team, especially from the start of 2022 to where we are now here in the middle of March, there's a lot of different statistics that you can point at as far as almost guaranteeing wins. You can go to Jalen Williams double-doubles. You can go to Devo hitting, 2 threes. That's been a random statistic that when Devo Davis has 2 3-point make shots, the Hogs are undefeated. You can go to Stanley Amude also being around that 3 to 5 range. What's the one statistic, and even if it's something that I didn't mention, that you could honestly point out and say, you show me the box score late Friday morning here in Buffalo, Arkansas won, and I don't even need to see the score.
If J.D. Note has less than 3 fouls. That's
a good one.
Statistically tell me when J.D. Note has 3 fouls and he's not playing in the first half, this team doesn't win. Look at the Texas A&M game. I mean, and that's the thing. J.D. has got to stay out of foul trouble. They win when he stays out of foul trouble, and he was really disciplined on that final stretch of those regular season SEC games. But all of those things, Jalen Williams, double-double, Devo hitting threes, Jalen Williams taking charges, whatever it may be, that one doesn't show up necessarily on the stat sheet. It all, I think, starts and ends with how many fouls J.D. Notae has and when he has those fouls.
Well, and if he does pick up a couple of fouls, you know you're going to get Chris Likes coming off the bench to take over at that position. And he's had some ups and he's had some downs, too. It's been a little bit better of late, especially defensively. So I would hope if J.D. does have to sit, that Likes is ready to go. But I'd agree with you. Like, you need J.D. on the court for this team at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he basically is the spark plug. Now, they've had, like, Kamani Johnson come out and have a little bit of spark, and Chris Likes had that great game against LSU during the tournament. But everyone knows J.D. Notae makes this team go, and he has to be on the court. If you're going to make a run, maybe they get away with it and still beat Vermont, but if you're going to make a run, he has to be on the court for as long as possible.
Yeah, and outside of Arkansas, I mean, obviously, me being up here, Buffalo today, super excited to go to all the practices and press conferences today. Is there another team that you're kind of excited to get a look at this week during the tournament? Maybe a team that you haven't ever had an opportunity to put eyes on in person? Well,
fun fact, one, I'm jealous you've already beat us there and you're already ahead in the Buffalo wing count, but I'm going to catch up.
I'm 15 in already.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. But, hey, I grew up in Richmond. I went to Spiders games when I was a kid, and it was really cool to see them beat Davidson and get an automatic qualifying bid to this tournament. So I'm kind of excited to see my hometown team play in Buffalo if I have some downtime to go in there and check out the Spiders and see how they can do against Iowa.
Give me a thought on Mike Neighbors' women's basketball team. They fly to Austin later this afternoon. I think they've got a winnable matchup against Utah, which is a team that's, I mean, by this time, I mean, you can't say inexperienced. They just have a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are doing the playing and scoring for them. Second round would be a whole different ball of wax playing on Texas home floor, potentially against the Longhorns. But I think Utah's a good matchup for them.
I really do, too. And I think, Phil, I mean, you know this, and I know this. We've watched this team all season. The best part about this team right now is everyone is pretty much healthy. And that's huge. They had that lull there with Michaela Daniels out and Aaron Barnum still not being 100%. But I really think the fact that all of them are healthy right now, you have Amber Ramirez going back and playing at home. I mean, you couldn't write this better, in my opinion, where you get redemption from the year before on the exact same court where you lost a year ago in that first round. And this game means a little bit more. Not that last year didn't. But you are the 10th seed. You're not the 4th seed. You are not the favorite in this game, and I think the Razorbacks can win. And, man, I can't wait to see, hopefully, Mike Neighbors and Vic Schaefer go at it one more time.
It'd be a great way to close out the Irwin Center because they're moving into a smaller building next year with a loss to the Razorbacks. And, man, I tell you what, that would bookend, the win over them in football and hopefully a win over them in women's basketball. Maybe the baseball teams meet in Omaha. You end their season there. I just love how that all sounds.
Yeah, man, you're just like, that's music to Hogs fans' ears, Phil. Calm down now. Might get people too excited on the airwaves there. Hey, how many Grand Slams are you going to call this year? I mean, come on, man.
They're playing again today, so let's just go for a fourth since we got a streak going on.
Let's do it.
It's nuts.
It's incredible.
Have you ever heard of a walk-off Grand Slam for a run rule like Webb did yesterday?
I have not.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
I had to read Oliver, the Arkansas SID sentence, kind of twice when he sent that out, where it says walk-off run rule Grand Slam. And I was like, come again? What? You kind of have to sound it out for you. That was awesome. No.
Alyssa, what's it like for me right here and for Drew and for Maddie? I mean, we've all got a table right in front of us. I got like 8 different stat pages in front of me for baseball, for basketball, both genders, and because spring football is going, I've got their stats. I got way too much stuff to pay attention to right now. We talked with Christina Long about it yesterday. It's like good luck keeping up. How the heck do you and the folks at Pig Trail Nation keep up with everything you got to cover right now? Because it's like 6 sports, maybe 7.
Well, it's incredible, man. And I sat on the plane ride, actually, beside Chris Johnson, who is the assistant and the head coach in waiting for the women's team. And he was going to recruit. And it's like, gosh, track, like you can't forget about men and women's track that just finished indoor. It's like everything is going on right now, and everything is good. And so I hate that I only have 3 minutes in a sportscast on television to be able to highlight everything going on the Hill. But, you know, we just do the best that we can and show as much love as we can and hope that Dave and Courtney are understanding that once baseball season and softball season is all that we have with golf and indoor, we can kind of give them some more love. But, man, it's tough to keep up. My head's spinning.
March is the craziest month for college sports. I don't think there's any. Yes. I don't think there's anything that's close. Like November can be a little wild, but November is like peach fuzz compared to March, which is like a
you still have football in March due to spring practice and stuff. So
I know, and
everything.
I feel so bad for Sam and this team who deserve the attention, but like spring football is kind of at the bottom of the list. And I remember when it used to be at the top 5 years ago. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited for all of it that's happening, just because this is kind of like what you do this for, to be covering great personalities, winning programs, and happy fans. Yeah. And that's what you got going on at this very moment. Alyssa,
this is the best time to be alive right now.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Bet online, where the game starts.